Is this thing on? It's been a while. Y'all in there? I think it's on. Okay. Ooh, girl. Hello, everyone. This is Let Me Just Say This, and my name is Naya. And honey, we're going to skip over the pleasantries today because there is a lot for us to talk about. There's a lot for us to talk about, and I feel like there's entirely too much going on. So we can skip over the, hey, how are you? I'm good. Oh, everything's all right. Yeah. Okay, now on to the deeper topic for today. I've had a lot of thoughts about the current political climate here in the United States of America. If you did not know, I'm a Black American woman, okay? I'm 26 years old, going on 27, and I've seen a little bit thus far in my lifetime living here. However, we can all agree that this is an unprecedented time for us. And I can understand that it is a very difficult time for everyone, especially people who are here and who are impacted by all of these changes, right? And what our government is showing us and telling us, and what society as a whole is molding into be. Oh, side note, look at my sunshine. He loves me. I want to start by saying that I understand the current political climate and social climate is very, very difficult for a lot of people right now. I understand that looking at the situation going on in the United States with our current administration is extremely daunting for a lot of people, extremely overwhelming for a lot of people. For some people, it's even been catastrophic for their lives and their livelihoods. And finding a solution to what's going on, or trying to combat what's going on, or wanting to fight back, or wanting to stand up, or wanting to say something and not really even knowing the answers is very difficult. It's very overwhelming. It is very hard. And so it's easy for a lot of us to tap out. It's easy for a lot of us to decide, hey, I don't want to participate. I don't want to be a part of this. I'm just going to go about my life like everything is normal, and I'm going to be distracted, and I'm going to act like everything's going to be okay because I hope that it will. I would like to say to you guys who are feeling that way that I see you and I understand. And I understand. So this isn't an attack for those people who are handling this the best way that they can for their mental health and for their well-being, and to just be able to wake up every day and face the day, right? Now, after the election, though, there was a good number of Black Americans and people of color in America who were basically like, hey, you guys fucked around and now you're about to find out. And I cannot wait to say, I told you so. I told you so. And on that note, I'm going to mind my Black business and let y'all handle all of this. And I'm tapping out because I've done enough. And, not my monkeys, not my circus mentality. And I really hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it is indeed your circus and your monkeys. This is yours. This country is yours. This government owes it to you. You are who empower these people, right? So when we talk about going laissez-faire, when we talk about I'm going to mind my Black business and I'm going to stay out of it, and this has nothing to do with me, it has everything to do with you because you are still an American. It has everything to do with you. And I understand that Black people, especially Black women, are so tired of having to bear the burden of fixing every fucking thing. We don't want to have to come through and fix the government. We don't want to have to come through and fight for rights that other people are deciding to lay down and just give up. We don't want to have to do that. But the difference between us and a lot of other people is that it's in our stock. That's what we are built with. You hear me? So it's only natural for us to be the ones to stand up. It's only natural for us to be the ones to fight, especially Black women. It's only natural because all of our lives we had to fight. All of our lives we've had to fight. Now, going hands off and saying it's none of your business and saying, I'm gonna mind my Black business while y'all figure all this out, you're waging your children's future on an I told you so. You're waging your children's future and the future of people that look like you on the mentality of, I'm glad you guys are getting what y'all deserve because this is what y'all asked for. Listen, that's not gonna help anyone. It's not gonna help anyone. You still have to get in the paint. You still have to participate. You still have to stand up. You cannot just lay down and go laissez-faire. Can't go underground with this one. You gotta participate. You gotta be a part of it. You have to, because that's the only way forward. That is the only way that we continue to stand up for ourselves. That's the only way that we prevent things like oligarchies in our country. And I know that's a hot topic. Oh, is it an oligarchy? Is it not? Is it It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at this point. They're showing us enough that there's a possibility. I think Americans are being shown that there is a possibility that the normal that we were used to will be changed. And it is a fallacy that we've lived in, a delusion, a fantasy that we've lived in for a long time, that things that affect other countries can also affect us. And here we are. Actively moving backwards. I had posted a reel on the podcast Instagram at LMJST. If you don't follow, go ahead and follow over there, where I said that all of the people that Donald Trump is bringing with him, okay, are actively going to be working against our best interest. And we see that they are. And if you have been disillusioned, or if your bias or your prejudice is so strong that you genuinely believe that acting against the better interest of other people in society that don't look like you or aren't in the same socioeconomic status as you won't impact you, you are deeply, deeply mistaken, because it is actively impacting you, whether you see it in front of your face or not. And sooner or later, you will. In the great words of Dr. Martin Luther King, honey, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere, which means you cannot sit by idly while people are being disenfranchised, while people are being discriminated against, while people are being oppressed, because what's stopping it from being you? If you want to think about it that way, what is stopping it from being you? Most people are selfish. Most people aren't going to concern themselves with issues unless they directly are affected, right? And unless they're directly afflicted. Like, for example, some of these MAGA supporters or Trump supporters who are Mexican American or Hispanic American, who are seeing their family members being deported, who themselves are facing deportation or are facing harassment from ICE. Before it was, well, I was a Trump supporter. He wasn't supposed to do this. He was supposed to get the other ones out of here. But now because it's me, it's wrong. Now because it's me, oh, wow, I didn't expect this. You should have concerned yourself. Because the moment you think you can't be next, you will be next up, which is the problem. And for the people who believe that because those in power look like them, that they won't be next up in the line of oppressed, I want you to understand something. They may look like you, but you're not in the same tax bracket, which means you are very much so up next. Hate to break it to you. This really segues me into my thoughts on separating, the forceful separation of, I don't even want to say this because it really breaks my heart. This brings me to the forceful separation of trans service members from the military. I have so many thoughts, and I have a lot that I would like to say to those people, especially to the trans person that I served with, that I love dearly, that did not deserve in the slightest the neglect and the treatment and the bias and the discrimination that they faced while they served their own country. That is crazy. That is absurd. It is absurd. The petty in me wants to say this. But honestly, I don't believe trans people should be serving in the military. I don't. And let me tell you why, okay? Because not the military, but the people in the military have gone out of their way to make life difficult for trans people. They have gone out of their way to make healthcare difficult for trans people who are serving their country, who have every right to those benefits, who have every right to show up and be in a space where they feel safe, be in a space where they feel comfortable. You don't have to agree with anyone else's lifestyle in order to respect them as a human being, right? Ooh, I'm getting heated, girl. I'm getting heated. One of the main comments that I saw regarding the forceful removal of trans people from the military is that those service members are suffering from mental illness and thus are not actually fit to serve. Let me just say this, okay? As a person who has served alongside someone who is trans, okay? doing the same job I'm doing the same job that white cisgendered male was doing at that time, okay? Their gender identity had no impact on their competency, had no impact on their ability to do the job or the mission or operational anything. There was no impact. They showed up, they did their job, they did it well, they went home. No impact on anyone else. So if the mindset is, okay, we're going to kick people out based on mental illness, do you know how many service members would have to be forcefully removed from the military if we are kicking people out based on mental illness? A good bit of them. And I'm willing to say that if we're going to count being trans as a mental illness, we also need to count these racists, these sexists, these xenophobias. They're also suffering from mental illness, babe. Kick them out as well. One of the biggest things about the military is that you are going to come across a lot of people. Diversity is our greatest strength when it comes to this country. Diversity is our greatest strength when it comes to military service. That is what makes us strong. That is what makes us innovative, right? Once we start operating under the idea of homogeny and a monolith, that is going to limit us extremely, and it has in the past. We've seen it. As a veteran, I would like to say that there is no place for racism, homophobia, misogyny, xenophobia, transphobia, any of that in our military. There's no place for it because inherently it is hindering you from doing your job. Inherently, it is hindering you from actively showing up for your brothers and sisters in arms. We cannot protect each other if we are operating under a mindset of bias. We can't look out for each other, okay? If we are operating that way, and we damn sure cannot support the Constitution of the United States of America if we are not fighting for every single American. That does not make any sense. We are stronger together. And what people don't understand is the military is the one career in which you will come across the most diverse group of people that you ever will in your life. So I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of service members who came into the military and had their own prejudice and their own bias and were exposed to something different, and were exposed to what diversity could do. Were exposed to people that they would never, ever be around in their lives. And then they see, hey, this is my brother. This is my sister. This is a person that I care about. Let me reframe my mindset. Let me grow from the prejudice that I've seen growing up. Let me grow from the biases that have been instilled in me as a person living in a particular place or community. Because at the end of the day, what's happening right now in the military has nothing to do with competency. It has nothing to do with, oh, we're going to take care of people who are having mental health issues. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with white supremacy. It has everything to do with Christian nationalism. It has everything to do with getting rid of people who challenge a status quo. It makes me so upset. When I think about the sacrifices that trans service members have made, only to be told, hey, actually, fuck you. Hey, actually, get out of here because we don't care about you. We don't see you, and we don't give a fuck about your sacrifice. We actually don't care that you've made an ultimate commitment. A commitment. Y'all don't understand what that means to be committed to something? These same trans people who are being forced out of their careers, out of their jobs, are people who could have been just a couple years away from retirement. That's 20 years. That's 20 years of devotion, of commitment, of hard work, sacrifice. These are people who have done what they needed to do. They've gone through their training. They've gone through the breaking down that comes with going into the military and reframing your mindset and having to strive towards excellence. That's what we say. We're striving towards excellence, honor, courage, commitment. We're striving towards these things, but we are telling these people, you are not good enough to be here. You are not good enough to serve with us, and we don't want to see you, and we do not care about you. If that's that has to be the most unconstitutional and un-American thing I have ever heard in my life. And it's not just them. And if you think they're willing to stop at trans people, if you think they're willing to stop at gay people, at women, at black people, if you think, oh, it's going to stop with them, it will not. It will not. What you're seeing is an administration that's going after the easiest targets. They're going after the low-hanging fruit. They're going after the people that are easy to target because they are already being discarded by society. There's nothing stopping it from being you next. Unless you decide to stand up. Unless you fight for the rights of the people that don't look like you. Unless you make it your business. Unless you make it your business to stand up for people who are being disenfranchised, whether or not that disenfranchisement directly impacts you or not, because indirectly it is. It is. There's no denying that. My heart is really broken for these people who are being cast out of the military right now forcefully. I would also like to say, for those of you who are being forced out of your military career, do not accept any type of severance, babe. Do not accept any type of severance. Let them push you out. Do not give up your benefits. Do not give up your benefits, babe, because they owe you. They owe you. You know, I think at the end of the day, we have to concern ourselves with what's going on. You cannot tap out. Right now is not the time to tap out. And I'm not saying you have to be Superman or Superwoman, put on your cape and save the day or save the world. What I'm saying is you need to use your voice. You need to inform yourself. You need to be aware of what's going on. Don't allow this shit to distract you. Okay? There are greater things at hand right now. You have to concern yourself. Because everyone is going to be affected. Everyone is going to be impacted. And it is everyone's job to work towards a society that is safe for us all. For us all. And for my Black American friends who believe that the answer is expatriatism, I want you to remember how many people died for us to get here. How much blood was shed for us to have the rights that we have that are currently being challenged. I want you to remember who died. I want you to remember how much was given, what type of sacrifice was given for you to get on whatever platform you're on, for me to be here with you right now. How much that took before you abandoned ship, because this shit is ours. It's ours. And what's impacting the people that don't look like us, or the people who live lives that we don't quote unquote agree with, whatever, does not matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. This is about human rights. Whether you agree with how someone lives their life or whether you agree with X, Y, Z, doesn't matter. Because once we allow them to infringe on one party's human rights, they're going to come for everyone else's. And really, that shouldn't even be the reason why you do this shit. It should just be because you're a good person. It should just be because you care about other people. But since, like I said, people are selfish, that is the point that is going to get most people that, oh, maybe it could be me next. Not, oh, I just want to see other people in society thrive and be treated humanely. No, it's maybe it'll be me next. I would like to end on something that my pastor this past Sunday said to us, okay? Shout out to Pastor Brent, who said in this past Sunday service that fellowship is about diversity. Fellowship is about being around people from all different walks of life, no matter what they look like, who they are, what they've done. That we can fellowship together. That's how we bring God's kingdom on earth as it is in heaven. That we are able to fellowship together in diversity. And when the church is doing what the church is supposed to do, you don't need the government to do it for them. Let me say that one more time for you on the back. When the church is operating and doing what it needs to do, right? You do not need the government to do the church's job. And I'm going to end it right there. God bless you guys. I hope this empowered some of you, and I hope that you understand that you are loved and that everything will be okay, but you have to lift up your voice every single day and every chance that you get. And on that note, I will get with you guys in the next one.